With an ever-increasing amount of premium products from Wizards of the Coast, it's no surprise that wallet fatigue is a conversation people are starting to bring up again. And here are some of the things players should expect from Wizards of the Coast going forward. It's going to get worse before it gets better. But to be honest with you, it's only going to get worse. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here, and thanks again for hanging out with me on the channel, because wallet fatigue for a lot of players, it's here again. It may not be affecting everyone the same way because Lord of the Rings has such a hype around it that players are kind of ignoring their wallets right now and just keep opening them full wide and saying, take my money, bring me a collector box of Lord of the Rings, and let me take my chances finding those serialized cards. That kind of hype and FOMO is everywhere, but the corner conversations are starting to come around, and it's because Commander Masters is right there. It's right there looking at people saying, am I going to have awesome cards in there? Are players going to want to buy these cards? I myself, I'm of the opinion that it's not going to be a big deal. They're a reprint set. I'm not big on it. I don't really care what they do because those cards already exist. But that's not the way a lot of other players feel. They do want to indulge and buy these products, and they're expensive. It's a premium cost. And you can expect more of these things from Wizards, not less. More. Because now that Lord of the Rings has broken the mold, it's going to be a whole different ball game out there. Coming to a theater near you in the next 24 months, expect everything to get jacked up for premium products. It's just the way it's going to be. But then that conversation comes around, well, what do we do about it? How are we going to solve this problem? You're not. I hate to say that in that kind of, mean, kind of old grungy man way, but you're not. Wizards of the Coast is setting the price, they're setting the product level, and they're setting out how much they're putting out. The only thing players can do is enjoy a product, boycott a product. Be selective in what they do, and be hyper-focused on what they're trying to finish. If you're trying to build that one amazing standard deck, hyper-focus on that standard deck. That's what we've had to do in the last couple of years with wallet fatigue. If you're a person trying to build that commander deck, I learned very early on, you can't build 20 commander decks at the same time because some of these decks cost thousands of dollars. You got to build them kind of one at a time, maybe one or two, and you have cards you rotate out as you finally get the cards you want. We're told to keep spreadsheets of all the cards you want to put in your decks. And then when you see them go on sale and kind of check on them once in a while, you find it cheap, you pick it up, you trade for it, you do what you have to do. But the idea that Wizards of the Coast is going to slow down, this is definitely a sign they're not going to. This is like a triple green light. We talked about this. Triple green light, they're going right through, and they're going to the next level. They're going Donkey Kong Jr. level 3. They're just going to keep going up. They're ignoring the takeover order, and they're going to a whole new restaurant, and they're building it from the ground up. That's exactly what's happening. So when you understand that's what a company's going to do, you've got to plan accordingly. Everyone's got a different level of wallet fatigue that affects them. Players who are poor, and yes, some players are poor, can't afford to get these cards. They might go the proxy route. Some players who have that medium income, they're like, trying to keep up with the Joneses, they're going to struggle, but they're going to try. They don't care. They're going to spend the money, and they're going to try to keep up. I've been there, done that. Keep up with the Joneses, horrible thing to do because it always hurts you in the end, but players do it. The players who have the expensive wallet, the wallet that can open all the way, Costanza style or not, you can open it all the way, and there's always money there. Awesome. I'm jealous, but awesome. Good for you. And you can just go and just indulge in the cards you want to do. And I'm not talking just sealed products. That's one thing, and that's where these products come from. The premium price products mean the individual cards, if they're opened en masse, they're going to get cheap, just like we're seeing right now with Lord of the Rings. A lot of these cards are going to just collapse in value. Great for players wanting to get them, but what happens if a premium product like Commander Masters, at that price level, it is not going to have as much open, especially with the success of Lord of the Rings. I could be wrong, but right now that's what it looks like. I've seen some canceled pre-orders and stuff, and players put their money into Lord of the Rings collector boxes, but when you look at that as a whole, and you say, this product's going to fall short, that means the reprints inside that set aren't going to drop as much as players think. And understanding that means you can plan accordingly, right? You can decide for yourself how you're going to interact with these products, because it might not get as many opened. So it may not drop as much. Interesting stuff to think about, isn't it? Because I myself look at cards I'm hoping get reprints. Things like Mana Crypt that I want to get my hands on. I'm sure a lot of you guys like Capture of the the one that takes a turn. Those are cards I'd like to get for some of the commander decks I'm working on. I need Mana Crypt. I'm not going to pay top dollar for those cards because they're reprint cards. So I will choose to skip them entirely unless they hit price targets that I think are affordable and worth the value of that card. I've made my decision. Players will make theirs. But to expect Wizards of the Coast to change their plan, unless we slap them in the face with our wallets and say we're not opening our wallet right now, they're going to keep doing what they're going to do, and they're going to keep pushing the envelope as far as they can. And they thought they'd hit the ceiling with Double Masters 2022. But now this has opened a new gateway, a new way of looking for money from players. And wallet fatigue that should be there with a product like this, it is not stopped, and it keeps accelerating. I can't tell you how crazy it is to see my sales things from the stores, and now set boxes are starting to sell out in the smaller areas, and draft boxes are already gone, and the commander decks are selling. It is crazy to see what's going on with Lord of the Rings. We all know it can't last. We all know there has to be an end somewhere. But we're already past that point where it matters. Wizards has already seen it. It's already gone over to the Yellow Brick Road. On the other side is the Emerald City, and Wizards can see it clearly in view. So wallet fatigue to Wizards of the Coast doesn't matter. It's not a factor for them. Because they know now there are players willing to spend money on this stuff. And until they hit the next wall and slow down, they're not going to. If anything, they may even speed things up in a bad way. But that's a whole different conversation. We're here for wallet fatigue. I think the best thing players can do at this time is have the conversations. Set your limits and be smart about what you want to do and what you're trying to accomplish with your decks. If you're a player who can't afford things, keep that in mind. If you're a player who's got the median, you're like, I can afford some of this stuff, plan it well. If you're an open wallet player, Costanza style, have at it. Do what you want to do and enjoy the products the way you can enjoy them. But the idea that players think that Wizard of the Coast will switch anything right now, not a chance. Not a chance. And that's what I think is the biggest takeaway from understanding a company like this. They're glad you're enjoying the product. They're glad it's all going well, but they're already looking ahead. They're already seeing what's coming down the pipe and how they can tweak it going forward. And that is something players will have to be prepared for. If you're a player who doesn't plan things, don't worry about it then. Let things just come down the pipe. Be surprised when it does and say, hey, look what just happened to me. Prices went up and I wasn't expecting it. These amazing cards were found in this series, and then over here a Secret Lair came out, and then we have a commander deck that has 2 of the cards I need, and then over there is that new special premium set of Rabia that we were hoping would come out, at some point, Arabian Nights again, and it has these amazing Djinn I need for my new commander deck. But all these products are going to cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Yeah, that's their intention. To spread you out and have you clicking all over the place trying to get those cards. And here's the one thing that most players forget with wallet fatigue. They're hoping you forget. They're hoping you forget these all cost this much money by enjoying the cards and moving on to the next product as fast as they can. And then within a 3 to 5 year period, rotating a lot of these expensive cards with something better or something similar. It's crazy stuff to think about, but that's where things end up when you're not paying attention to it. Wallet fatigue, man. It is one of those things that I think most players, they talk about, they think about, but they don't actually conceptualize the idea from the company standpoint. They think of it from all about me. It's all about me, and this, I don't want to pay those prices, but then you go out and buy the cards. I'm not going to buy this product, but then you buy it. It's the funny thing about this game. We all want to enjoy the cards. We all want to get our hands on. We all want the best deal we can possibly get. And all along that time, we know Wizards of the Coast doesn't care. They're going to do what they want to do. And then when something goes on sale or something collapses, we say, ha, we proved our point. Wizards already made their money. They don't care. And that's that thing. It gets me going. Because I care so much about the game. I love playing it and enjoying it. But I understand the company doesn't care. So I just plan the best I can. I give the best advice that I can. And I have those conversations in a plain way to make sure we're all on the same page with a company like this. 30th anniversary, that was a slap in their face. And they reeled from that. Privately, publicly, bathroom conversations in the ivory tower, they had those conversations. But now with this, they realize it's a whole new page being turned and it's full steam ahead. I told you it was going to get worse before it got better, but really only worse. Thanks a lot for hanging out with me on the channel today. Big shout out and thank you to the fantastic people I have watching the videos every day. I'm honored just to be here having these conversations with you guys each and every day in the comment sections, as well as inside the live streams we have on weekends. It's an epic time. For all the players who've been hitting that subscribe button, thanks again. Getting me this much closer to the 20,000 subscriber mark is crazy to think about, and I have all of you out there to thank, which is the regular viewers watching every day and the occasional lurker out there who pops in for just an odd video here and there but has subscribed to the channel. Thanks again, everyone. It's amazing, and I look forward to seeing your comments tomorrow about this video. What are you doing to solve your wallet fatigue, if anything, or are you just opening that wallet as wide as you can saying, gimme, gimme, gimme? Well, we'll talk about it. Have a great day. And of course, a big shout out and thank you to the amazing patrons I have on my channel supporting me each and every day. Without their continued support, let's face it, daily content like this would not be possible. So thanks again to my fantastic patrons. Have a great day. I still feel like that angry guy yelling at the sky. I don't want to give you guys a negative outlook on things, but let's face it. In terms of how Magic players ingest this product, how they choose to spend their money, really rich people look at money a different way, middle class people look at money a different way, and poor people look at money a different way. So wallet fatigue affects everyone in a unique, individualistic way. It's crazy to think about. That's the way it is. I have friends who think 60,000 is a lot of money. I have friends who think $100 is a lot of money. I get everyone's perspective. It's crazy times. I feel like an angry guy at the cloud. Nah. We're going to end on a positive note. We're going to give a boomstick and some nachos and cheese. Because nobody watches this far in. Because if you did, you'd put a boomstick in the comment section. Have an awesome day, everyone.